I have a new scandal to talk about with everybody. It's called Rampgate. So President Trump gave a commencement address at West Point, and there are two moments at that address which are leading to speculation about his health. So there's the awkward sip of water, which you're about to see, and also his very ginger walk down a ramp. Take a look. All right, now, again, before I respond here, just I apologize for the construction noise in the background. There's construction happening like 20 feet away from me, and it's incredibly loud, annoying, and obnoxious, and it's diverting my attention. Hopefully you don't hear it that much, but I certainly do. But anyway, so Trump definitely does some kind of upper, okay? We've talked about this before. If you go look at the CPAC speech that he did, I believe it was last year, and then you also compare that to the UN speech that he gave, I believe it was last year. The CPAC speech, you see him flying high. He's definitely high on something. He's bouncing off the walls. He's really dynamic and gregarious and outgoing, and he's all over the place, and he's making jokes and all this stuff. The UN speech is definitely him coming down from an upper because he's talking very slow, and it seems like he's coming down and he's crashing, and he can't control his mood, and he's barely staying awake, and he slurred his speech. So I've definitely seen evidence, in my opinion, of some sort of upper use. I would guess Adderall. Some people say Sudafed. There's a certain brand of Sudafed that's very much acts like an upper. So I'm not saying the dude doesn't have health problems. He was also rushed to the Walter Reed Medical Center. I believe it was, maybe 6 months ago or a year ago or something like that. And we covered it on this show because it was seemingly very random and people were speculating he had some sort of a health issue, some sort of an emergency. I think that's very possible as well. Now, having said all of that, there's the hammering if you can't hear it. For this one, I'm not buying it, what I just saw right there. Okay, the way that he sips water like that all the time. He always does the one-hander, and then he gets the other hand underneath it and gingerly sips it. It's been an ongoing joke for a while that he kind of sips, a drink like a little boy, which is actually kind of hilarious. I've seen that before. I don't think that that's evidence of some sort of, medical crisis or emergency or whatever. And then the walking down the steps thing, listen, the dude is 73 years old and he's overweight. So when he's doing the little shuffle step, I don't think that's indicative of anything except being 73 years old and being kind of overweight. Now, I think the one argument that people have is that the dude next to him looked like he was almost there to assist him and help him if he had trouble getting down the stairs, which is a little bit of a red flag. But if you look closely, that dude's not actually holding the president. He's not touching the president. He's just kind of walking next to the president, and the angle might make it look like they're closer than they are, if that makes sense. So the little shuffle step down the stairs, I'm not surprised. He's 73 years old. He's fat as hell. And the sipping of the water is just how he always sips water. So I don't know why this, of all things, was blowing up. Meanwhile, when I did my segment on the CPAC speech, nobody was talking about how it seemed like he was high as a kite. And very few people were talking about how during the UN speech that it looked like he was crashing from a drug. So it's weird the things that people latch onto, and people are analyzing this video like it's the Zapruder film. And I don't understand that. So the final thing I'll show you is this. Trump said this: "The ramp that I descended after my West Point commencement speech was very long and steep, had no handrail, and most importantly, was very slippery. The last thing I was going to do is fall," I like how I put that in quotes, "for the fake news to have fun with. Final 10 feet, I ran down to level ground. Momentum." So he wasn't running. He moved super slowly, but moved his arms as if he was running down the ramp. But it's so the fact that he felt the need to come out there and respond because he saw that on Twitter it was trending, that people were speculating he had a stroke or something, almost flips in the other direction in my mind. So I didn't think much of the walking down the stairs or the water sip, but after him responding like this, all of a sudden I'm like, damn, maybe he is hiding something, because Trump is the king of overreacting to hide something. You know what I mean? So the fact that he felt the need to respond on Twitter about nothing's wrong, nothing's even wrong at all, I don't know what you guys are talking about, everything's wonderful, it's tremendous. The fact that he did that makes me think like, oh, okay, maybe he is hiding something. So in a weird way, I almost flip as a result of that. But ultimately, I'll stick with my final ruling of all the things he said and done and how he's acted over the years, this one does not even crack the top 10 of awkward behavior. The walk was ginger, but he's old and fat, so you expect that. And then the water sip, I've seen him do that a million times. So I do think that people on Twitter are going a little overboard, because it appeared to be like some sort of a consensus that he has, what's the term, Lewy body dementia or something, or he had a stroke. When in reality, listen, if we're going to keep it real about what's happening right now, yes, Trump is a total moron, and again, he probably does uppers and whatnot, but cognitively, I think he's significantly more there than Joe Biden. So, if you want to open that door to speaking about the health of these candidates, I don't think that conversation is going to end well. So, Twitter was having a field day with this, but I got to be honest, I don't see it as much as I saw it with the other ones. I just think he's an old, fat, frail man walking downstairs, and I think he always sips water like that. So, I hate to rain on everybody's parade, but on this front, I'm not really buying it.